Hi everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and welcome back to another Silhouette Cameo series. Today we're going to be making little gift boxes that I'm using for my twin nieces who are celebrating their birthday, and I have a little something that I want to give them in addition to their present. So I just wanted to show you quickly the little gift box that we're going to be using. I'm going to head over to my library and select the image I'm going to be using, which is this string tie drawer box. I'm going to double click to add that to my mat, and now I'm going to cut it out in a pattern paper and a solid paper. So the outside of the box, which is this part right here, is going to be my pattern paper. Then my inside of my box, which is this piece and this piece, will be on the solid paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is put these onto two different mats. I'm just going to select my image, right click, and hit ungroup. Once again, I'm going to select this image right here, and these two little round tabs right here are actually connected to my outside box. So again, I'm just going to right click, select ungroup one more time, and now it's going to actually break everything out for me. I want to actually take these boxes right here. I'm going to put a box around it, and we're going to move this off to the side. And then I'm going to draw a box around my outside image. We're going to right click, and we're going to group this back together again. So now all of the score lines and the little circles are now grouped back together again. I'm going to put this on a whole nother mat, so I'm going to right click and hit copy, select file, new project. And then once my new project opens, I'm going to right click and hit paste. So now the outside of my box is on a whole new mat, and I'll be able to put this on a different piece of cardstock or pattern paper. I'm going to head back over to my first image, where down in the bottom here is the little tabs to go back and forth from each one. And I'm going to select this image right here. I no longer need it, so I'm just going to hit the delete key. And then I have the inside of my box, which is also right now looks like it's ungrouped. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a box around that. Right click and group that back together again. And then we can go ahead and slide this right up here. We also have our little round circles, so they'll stay right there. And then this part right here is a layer that's going to go inside of our box. Okay, I'm back over on my mat that has my outside layer of my box, the one that's going to get put in, cut out on the pattern paper. So what I do is I just moved my box up to the top here. I'm going to head over to my library, and I have a really cute 3D bow that I'm going to cut out and use on my actual present. So I'm just going to double click and add that to the mat. I'm going to select this, and you can see that the inside part, which is the solid part, is smaller than my part that has more of the cut detail. So I'm going to spread this out as much as I can using what's left of the space on my mat. So I want to make sure that I'm looking at my one that has the more detailed cuts on it. And I'm just going to make this as big as I can that'll still fit on my mat. And it looks like we can still go a little bit bigger. Alright, that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is right click, ungroup, and now I've taken my solid piece, my piece with all the details, and this little flower that's down in the bottom, and separated them all. This flower here, I don't want this, so I'm just going to highlight that one. I'm moving the wrong image here. Alright, so we're just going to highlight that and hit delete. And it didn't grab the outside parts. We're going to do this one more time. Alright, and hit delete. And now we're going to take our bow that has the more cut detail and highlight that one. We're going to group this one back together So we're just going to right click and hit group. And then we're going to do right click and hit copy. And go back over to our page that has our insert, which is going to be cut on a solid cardstock. And we're going to right click and hit paste. I'm just going to move this up here a little bit. There we go. And then back over on my page that has my pattern paper, I'm going to delete this piece. And I believe the little circles to this is, have been separated. So I'm going to select this. Try that one more time because we're not grabbing our outside layer. Select it, right click, hit group, and then we can move this down, and this will be cut on our pattern paper. Now for some reason my mat seems to always default to a different size, so what I'm going to do now is go up here to this little box that has the red square on the inside, select my 12 by 12 mat, and you'll see this adjusted now so that it's 12 by 12. And I'm ready to go ahead and cut. Like I said, this page right here I'm going to cut on the pattern paper, and my other one I'm going to cut in a solid white cardstock. Alright, I will meet you at my desk and I'll show you how to put this together. We're going to go ahead and start putting this together. This is the two pieces that I cut out for the bow, which I'm just going to set aside. We'll do that last. And these are the pieces for our little box. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. I'm going to start with the bottom piece, and it's got all these great score lines, so all you have to do is just go ahead and fold all of your score lines. And I am using a textured cardstock, so I want to make sure my textured side is facing out. Alright, so on the textured side, I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive. And we're just going to put it on these 4 tabs here. And then you just take the tab and fold it into the inside of the box. And I'm just going to hold it so it dries. And I'm going to do that on all 4 pieces. Okay, and then these pieces right here are going to get folded in. So what I'm going to do is add some adhesive so they don't pop up to each of the little flaps. So I'm just putting it on the top part of where the score line is. And then I'll just fold these down. And I'm not putting a lot, I'm just putting enough just to hold it. And then I have my last piece right here. And then I'm going to take some adhesive and just put a little bit on the bottom here. Put too much on one side, so I'm just going to use my piece that goes on the inside, and that just gets adhered down to the bottom. Okay, so that's the inside of our box. I'm going to set that aside while it dries a little bit, and we're going to start working on our top of our box. And I just need to get the glue off my fingers. I am not the cleanest when it comes to glue. So we're going to fold all the score lines now on the outside of our box. And then before I start gluing this together, I'm going to take my little round pieces here and just adhere. Now I'm not going to adhere those down. I'm actually going to use some brads, and I'm just using some brads from an October Afternoon set, and I want to use the 2 pink ones that come in here. And I'm going to use those to put right inside of our little piece that's going to go where our twine will go. And I'm not putting them down too tight because we need to leave some space for the twine. Alright, so I'm going to put my twine on before I even do this part. I'm just using this is some My Mind's Eye twine that I got from Miss Caroline collection a while back. So I'm just going to pull some off. And take my first one and just tie that. Actually, I'm going to go from the one on the flap. So what I'm doing is just sticking my twine underneath my little circle there, and I'm just going to knot this on there. And then I'll cut off that little extra piece. Okay, so I'll just leave that hanging for now. And now what I'm going to do is put some adhesive right on this flap right here. And then this flap will actually get adhered right to this end piece right here. So that's what forms our box. I'm not quite lined up there. Okay, so our box is now sealed. What I'm going to do now is just close up these flaps on the end. And then you can take your little insert and just put it right inside. You close your little flaps here, and then you take your twine and just go right around the little tab. Just like that. So I'm going to use this as a little gift to go with a present that I'm giving to one of my nieces. And that'll be the box. And you can add even a little thing right here that says happy birthday, which is what this is for, as a birthday present. And now let's go ahead and do the bow. This bow is going to go actually onto her actual birthday present. This one is just for a little something else that I'm giving her. And for this I'm going to use, I didn't cut out that little flowered piece, but I am going to use some, one of these bigger brads from this collection. And there's this adorable little kitty right here. And then there's also a little birthday cake, but I think I'm going to use the stars. Yeah, I'm going to use the stars on this one. So to do this, what you do is, now because I used a texture cardstock, what I did with another one that I made was I just kind of rolled it a little bit just to start getting that shape so it doesn't crack or anything like that. So I'm going to start off with my bow here. I'm just going to take the two center holes and put my brad in the middle. And then I'll take each flap and bring those over to the brad. And then I'll do the same thing with my white piece. And then we'll just go ahead and close our brad up. So now I have a cute little bow that matches the little box that I'm giving. And this will go onto her present. And I made another one because I do have twin nieces. It's their birthday, so I made another one to go on the other one's box. So they have they each have, you know, two different patterns and stuff. So that's how I'll know which one goes to which. So that is our project for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.